How's it going, everyone? I want to have a discussion with my viewers and be honest with everyone that clicked on this video. This was a very difficult video for me to make. Nevertheless, I had to make it. I can no longer hide what's really going on in my life for my viewers. And today I'm going to be touching on a very personal subject between me and Thonia. And by me making this video, it should provide some closure and would be a way of me closing this chapter of my life and moving on to a new one. I want to be as real with my audience here on my YouTube channel as I can be. I'm not here to, sugarcoat anything for views or subscribers. I could care less about that stuff. And I'm also not trying to sell you guys a false dream of life traveling or living abroad, because it comes with its own set of unique challenges when you get out there. For anyone that's thinking about doing YouTube or getting into the YouTube business, let this video be a warning to anyone that chooses to post their personal life online for the world to watch. Because I'm telling you right now, it's not for everyone. The reason I do this YouTube gig is to provide my audience with not only entertainment, but with real life experiences. Experiences I've lived through so that many of you don't have to. You see, I'm not just an ordinary travel vlogger. When I date someone and I post them to my YouTube channel, I put 100% real emotion into it. It's not just some made-up act. So in this video today, I wanted to discuss what happened between Thonia and I. Firstly, in no way am I trying to throw shade on anyone in this video that I mentioned. And I'm just sharing my personal experience of what I've lived through after visiting the Philippines. I don't have any regrets of going to the Philippines and meeting Thonia. And again, for those who are maybe new to my channel and who do not know who Thonia is, she was the trans girl I met on the Tinder dating app in Cebu City. And the videos I filmed in the Philippines with her, these were from a few months ago. I edited them in a way that I'd be able to upload a new video every week to my channel. I know it says my last post in the Philippines was about 4 weeks ago, but I actually came back to Toronto at the end of September, just before Cebu was hit with those massive earthquakes. Now, when I stayed with Thonia in Cebu, I didn't have enough time to edit all my videos while I was overseas. And as you guys can see, I do have quite a few videos with Thonia and her amazing family that I posted to my channel. I just want to say, I truly do believe that I was supposed to meet someone like her in this lifetime. She is actually someone who's taught me a lot about myself. She's been, like a spiritual guide for me, and was even there for me in my dark moments. Like, when my iPhone got robbed in Angeles City, she was there by my side. Thonia has shown me parts of myself that I've ignored. Her presence mirrored parts of myself that I packed away in my unconscious for a very long time. If I continued living each day by ignoring my unconsciousness, it would continue to eat away at my consciousness. Me and Thonia, as perfect as we had appeared in the videos I posted, we've had our ups and downs. We've shared our ups and downs in our relationship, even while I was there in Cebu. And I think it's pretty normal for couples to have their problems from time to time. But when it starts interfering with your health, particularly your mental health, and it starts to turn into a very toxic relationship, that's when you have to really take a step back and reflect and decide if this is something you truly want to stay involved with. We did try the long distance thing when I returned back home to Toronto, but to put it into simple terms, it just didn't work out. So this may come to a shock to some of my viewers, but me and Thonia, ultimately, we ended our relationship, and we decided we could no longer be together. Now, when we first met each other in Cebu and started to hit things off, I felt like I was almost dreaming, like I was in a twilight zone. I felt like I had truly met the love of my life, the missing puzzle piece, and perhaps I did for that time. But as time went on and we both got to know more about each other, we saw things in each other that we disliked, and it sparked many of our arguments. Thonia had expressed her dislike of the other videos I had on my channel with the other transgender women that I posted. And, she's not wrong to feel the way that she does about it. I also don't blame her for feeling that way. But it was my past. And I did film those when I was a single guy, not in a committed relationship. And I won't deny that I posted some pretty wild videos when I was a single guy on my solo trip to Pattaya City. I was in a, different mindset at the time I had filmed those videos. And I was also hurt from a prior relationship when I had filmed those videos. And, I didn't think filming those videos in Thailand would gain the recognition that it did. Because it blew up. I'm not going to deny it blew up on my channel. And I didn't think that, it would in any way jeopardize my future relationships. You see, I don't judge people for the things they've done in their past. I judge them for their character and how they treat someone in the present moment. And I did try to work things out with her, even, by going to the extreme lengths of removing the other videos of the lady boys on my channel. It didn't resolve our problems. The problems continued and they got even worse. Maybe there were some things broken inside both of us that we needed to work on. So after meeting Thonia, I learned to set, some healthy boundaries for myself. Perhaps we were never meant to fix each other's problems. So when staying in the relationship jeopardized my mental well-being, I had to do what any person that absorbs too much would do. And that was to retreat into self-reflection and begin to learn the lesson. The relationship was not meant to be permanent, but it was here to serve as a lesson. Maybe if I'd been more transparent from the very beginning about my YouTube channel when I'd met Thonia, things maybe could have worked out or maybe not. But ultimately, it just didn't. So the lesson I took from Thonia wasn't necessarily a lesson about love, but more about karma and what karma can do to your life, especially if you don't think the actions you do in the present, will have consequences later on. As much as I've invested my time in learning about the Catholic religion when I was in the Philippines from Thonia and her family, I am still a firm believer in karma. And whether or not you guys believe in that concept, I believe in this lifetime, the karma we experience, maybe on the daily, it can come in many different forms. It can be hardships we experience with, certain family members, friends, colleagues, and even our intimate relationships. But the lesson I took from being with Thonia wasn't necessarily about love. So what me and Thonia had was something called a karmic relationship. And if you are a person that believes in karmic relationships, twin flames, or soulmates, or, do a bit of research into that kind of stuff, maybe you can understand or relate where I'm coming from. And I'm not in any way trying to smear her name or blame her or shame her. What has happened is simply behind us, and all we can do now is move forward in life and just keep going. Thonia, she's actually an amazing person who has shown me what it was truly like to live in the Philippines, and her family are equally as amazing. Her dogs, Luca, Sky, and Kupi, I love them all. I miss drinking Red Horse with Papa and eating Spam with rice for breakfast with Mama. Mama cooked, Spam and rice for breakfast. I truly feel her family are my long lost Filipino family. Even if we aren't blood relatives, they treated me as family, and I will always see them as family. So I'll always love Tonia's family. They took me as a foreigner, stranger, into their home, and they treated me like a son. And I will never forget the good memories with them, and they'll last forever. And I don't ever plan on deleting those memories. They're on my channel. I plan to keep them there. And I'm happy to share these experiences with you all on my YouTube channel of what it's like to live like a Filipino, and with a real Filipino family. But me and Thonia, we just weren't meant to stay together in this life. And I do know we were supposed to meet each other and teach each other painful lessons. But to stay with her would be, giving up parts of myself, my peace of mind, my solitude. So I felt I just needed to get this off my chest and to let my viewers know what's up. And for anyone confused by my last video to my channel, why the title seemed depressing, like she was gone, that was actually my last, farewell message. And then the other video, when we said goodbye to each other at the airport, it ate me up inside to see her family cry. When I saw her mama cry, when I saw her papa cry, it tore me up. because we had chemistry, you know. Like her family truly loved me, and I felt the love, and I don't regret meeting her, and I thank her for coming into my life. You know, she opened up my eyes to things I needed to see. And I may not be the most perfect boyfriend in the world, and I do have my flaws, and I'm learning along in this journey of mine and my soul. I'm simply just a human being existing, and that's all there is to it. So Thonia, if you are watching this video or this message reaches you, I just want you to know I never really strictly was in this for the YouTube fame, attention, or money. What I have to say isn't coming from my ego, it's coming from my heart. When I told you I loved you, I meant it. When I kissed you, I meant it. Every moment we shared, both good and bad, I meant it. You know, when I told you I cared about you, I meant it. And I wish nothing but peace and happiness for you in your life. Thank you for all these amazing memories of the Philippines that I'll never forget. And for Tonia's family, if you are watching this video as well, thank you for offering me your home to stay. Thank you, Mama and Papa, for cooking me amazing Filipino dishes, for letting me sing karaoke to Dodong, and welcoming me and treating me like part of your family in Cebu. May God bless your family and bring you all together through good times and bad times. You still have me as friends on Facebook, so I don't mind seeing pictures of Dodong growing up to be a strong, healthy young man. Mama, you can send me a message whenever you'd like to. I'm not going anywhere. Thank you so much for everything you've done for me. May there be peace and happiness for you and your beautiful family. And lastly, I want to thank you all so much for watching my videos and being here to support my YouTube channel. You guys, the viewers, you guys give me strength every day to keep posting to my channel and never give up. Where I'm headed in this direction, you know, with my YouTube channel, I don't know. God has a plan for me. If I do plan to return to the Philippines in the future, I'd like to do things differently. You know, I noticed many people struggling to survive in the Philippines without, I'd say about 60% living below the poverty line. So the next time I'm back there, I'll be sure to give back to those in need, possibly even visit, you know, some slums and give back to the poor families that are struggling, because there are many struggling in the Philippines. So what I learned in this lifetime is sometimes you have to feel pain in order to feel good. You have to live through the darkness before you can reach the light. So thank you all so much for watching my video. Do expect some more videos like this in the coming months. And if you liked what I've said in this video, you can drop a like down below. Thank you all, and may you be guided in this journey of life. Peace out.